My name's Larissa, and I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology this December. I chose to research the sculpture Diana by Frederick MacMonnies, which is located at the Crystal Bridges Arts Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas. Frederick MacMonnies was an American sculptor who was born in 1863. MacMonnies was considered one of the most important French-trained American sculptors during the turn of the 19th century. St. Gaudens, another famous American sculptor, trained MacMonnies. While his teacher's style reflected classically inspired allegories and portraits, MacMonnies' style was harder to classify. The majority of his famous pieces were created during the American Renaissance period. At the age of 21, MacMonnies embarked on an important journey to Paris to further his practice. In August of 1886, he passed the entrance exam of the École des Beaux-Arts and was admitted to the respected group of artists. Flagier was one of the most well-respected sculptors at this time, and MacMonnies had the opportunity to train under him. In 1890, MacMonnies' creation of the statue of Nathan Hale in New York had brought him great fame and is one of the most famous pieces. The piece Diana by Frederick MacMonnies was created in 1890 out of bronze. MacMonnies' life-size sculpture Diana won an honorable mention at the 1889 Paris Salon, and it also served as a critical piece in MacMonnies' career. Diana is known in Greek mythology as the goddess of the moon, who is a huntress. In this bronze sculpture, she is posing on her right leg, which seems to result from her leaping onto that foot. She holds a bow in her left hand as if she had just shot the arrow off. Her gaze follows the line that is implied to be the trajectory of the arrow that she had just shot off. Her hair is placed atop her head, but does not seem to possess extreme naturalistic texture. There are also two small horns coming from her hair, which may represent her hunting nature. There is an asymmetrical balance present in this sculpture, and she seems to be very sturdy despite her limbs moving in opposite directions. Her body is very idealized, and proportions represent the ideal female body, with small breasts and athletic build. This sculpture shows Diana in action as she is springing into her step and releasing an arrow. Her face has a flat expression, and she is staring out where she has shot her arrow. There seems to be a lot of detail here in her hands and toes, and her idealized body also possesses detail without being too harsh. I believe that Diana is influenced heavily by the academic style in art, since it won MacMonnies' honorable mention from the Paris Salon. Academic art typically focuses on historical figures, and the academies had great respect for academic artists. Academic art used ancient classical art and historical figures as a basis and inspiration. Diana, which is a sculpture of a Greek goddess of mythology, represents this type of art. The motion of this piece seems to be inspired by ancient classical Greek art, which figures are in motion were quite common. There is a sense of balance present in the sculpture, even though the subject is mid-motion. Her right arm is moving towards her side, which draws the viewer's attention away from the direction that her face is pointing. Her face is turned so that she clearly follows the arrow that she has previously shot, which gives the viewer a greater sense of motion. Diana stands on the tip of her right toes, which clearly depicts her forward motion when balanced with her raised left leg. It is clear that Diana is a strong and athletic woman because she is leaning forward while using her arrow, and her idealized body seems very athletic. The use of balance and symmetry in the sculpture Diana depicts the motion and draws the viewer to all aspects present in this piece. The freedom of movement present in Diana is similar to that of Discobolus, otherwise known as the discus thrower. This sculpture was created during the classical Greek time period and is one of the most famous pieces. Diana is also similar to this classical Greek piece because both have a lack of expression present on their faces and idealized bodies. Personally, I chose this piece of art because I was interested in sculptures and I thought it was beautifully represented motion. I enjoy sculptures because you can view them from different angles and there's always something new to notice. The fluid motion and sense of balance is what originally appealed to me. I have always been interested in Greek mythology, therefore I thought it was a great piece to study. Although I did not recognize Frederick MacMonnies' name, as I researched him I started to recognize some of his sculptures and monuments. I feel that it is important to study artists who may not be well known. I was happy with my choice of studying Frederick MacMonnies' life and his creation of Diana.